Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. Hope all of you are doing well, preparing well for the upcoming prelims examination with your full gist and enthusiasm. This is a video session on daily news and editorial analysis dated 15th of December. Through this video analysis, I'll be looking into the important news and editorial both from the Hindu and Indian Express. The analysis and the coverage of the news will especially cater all the aspirant who will be appearing for the civil services examination, state public service commission examination, and one day examination conducted by various state and union agencies. So I'll sure that the content that we're using is only relevant from the examination perspective, and all of you who are watching will definitely benefit. So let's get started. First, I'll give you the highlights of the news, then we'll proceed further with the detailed analysis of the news one by one. So the first news on the discussion is about the e-cigarettes, where WHO has categorically come up with a guideline to control the uses of e-cigarettes. The second important news talks about the regulations that the Supreme Court has told to the central agencies to follow the CBI manual when it comes to the part of seizures for the electronic devices during any investigation process or raid. Third important news talks about the PLI, which is Production Link Incentive Scheme, that has taken the center stage and the new industrial policy has been put on the back burner. The second last important news talks about India's fastest solar boat, which was launched in Kerala. We'll see the detail to this. And I'll be concluding the session with editorial that talks about COP28, basically what are the downside to it. I have been discussing COP28 for quite a good number of times. So in this, we'll see what are the downside and where it has actually messed it up. So these are the today's discussion news, and I'll be straightforward looking into the detailed analysis of the news one by one. So the first important news is about WHO that has raised concern with regards to e-cigarettes. The WHO has come up with an urgent advisory, and they have said that they need to have an urgent action when it comes to e-cigarette, right? तो e-cigarettes को लेकर के specifically कुछ age group है, the children's and non-smoker age group, it has a harmful impact. So WHO has asked the stakeholders, the government, the head of the state to take some immediate action on banning the e-cigarettes. Now, what is e-cigarette? I think most of you must be aware of the part of the concept which actually work with the e-cigarettes. I have also made a discussion earlier when it was there in the limelight. Now, e-cigarettes की specifically बात करें, E stand for electronic. So this is an electronic cigarette which is based and work on a battery. So how does it work? It works on a battery. There's no power backup. It has a battery which is intact to it. And the device has a liquid that contains nicotine, and different flavor can be used using the other chemicals. And it create an aerosol which is referred as vapor, and the user take to inhale it, and it reach it out to the lungs, making it more, giving it function. But ultimately this is harmful. This is what the WHO has specifically noted in terms of health, specifically for the children and one the age group below that. The e-cigarettes are designed to stimulate the act of smoking and traditional cigarette, but without combustion of tobacco. यहाँ पे किसी तरह की बर्निंग नहीं होती है, एक्चुअल में एरोसोल वेपर जनरेट होती है जिसके थ्रू ये निकोटीन रिलीज होती है लंग्स में. But again, it is harmful. I personally recommend that. For India, we are taking self-regulation on that part, but it should be completely strict. Now, the part of the data that we have about the e-cigarettes. So among youth, like 82.9% use flavored e-cigarettes in a past month. These are some of the data and findings by the Truth Initiatives. So there are some other details that you can read over here. It says that in 2020, 19.6 high school student and 4.7 middle school have actually used e-cigarettes. So it is getting more prevalent between the age group of 15 to 16 year, which is something is not good. This is a time to potentially use the part of in the individual calibers की अगर बात करें, या एक ऐसी टाइम होती है जहाँ पे उनके कैरियर रीशेपिंग की ज़रूरत है, वहाँ पे इस तरह की चीज़ों को कहीं ना कहीं उनको डिस्ट्रैक्ट करेगी, and it will deviate the mind and even to have the health repercussions. So that is the reason WHO has given a detailed advisory and report to this but more or less it is towards a part of health concern only. What are the health concern? We'll see the detail to this. WHO ने अपने रिपोर्ट में अपने एडवाइजरी में बाकायदे बताया है that e-cigarettes with nicotines are highly addictive, right? And it is harmful to health. It affect the body parts such as lungs specifically. And the study has consistently shown that the young people who uses e-cigarette, this was a study, this was not the advisory by the WHO, but this was a study, independent study which was done. और इन्होंने बताया कि जो लोग एक्चुअल में ई सिगरेट स्मोक करते हैं वो 3 times वनरेबल होते हैं टू यूज सिगरेट इन देयर लैटर लाइफ, राइट? तो बाद में वो ओरिजिनल सिगरेट्स भी यूज कर सकते हैं. दिस इज व्हाट द स्टडी शोज. It also affect your brain development, as I've told you, because 15 to 17 is the age where you actually mature, you grow up, your adolescence phase result into adult phase. तो वहाँ पे brain development काफ़ी ज़्यादा होती है. This persistent uses of the nicotine can lead to the disorder, the mental disorders. Fetal exposures to e-cigarette can have adversely impacting the development of fetus in the pregnant women, and exposures to the emissions of e-cigarette can also poses risks to the bystanders. जो एक्चुअल स्मोक नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो आपके आसपास लोग भी खड़े बायस्टैंडर्स हैं, उनको भी ये नेगेटिवली इम्पैक्ट करती है. सिगरेट तो ऑलरेडी करती है बिकॉज इट क्रिएट अ पार्ट ऑफ चेन स्मोकिंग पार्ट, बट यहाँ पे भी बायस्टैंडर्स को भी इम्पैक्ट. Now, if you look at the regulation, specifically India में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने इसे हाईली रेगुलाइज्ड रखा है that it should not be sold in the premises around the school. स्कूल के आसपास के premises में सेल आउट नहीं है सेल करना, बट WHO ने कहा है that it should be allowed only to the open market, aggressively market to the young people. तो यहाँ पे रेगुलेट करने की जरूरत है. Now, 34 countries have actually banned it. 34 countries ने e-cigarette को सेल से बैन किया, and 88 countries have no minimum age with e-cigarettes, and 74 countries have no regulation for their put in place for the harmful part of e-cigarette that is in. So minimum countries, only 34 countries are there that have come up with the regulations. Now India has poses that e-cigarettes are similar device and it's a violation of provision of Cigarette Act 2019 according to the Union Health Ministry. So Government of India has taken a due cognizance of this and they have made a ban, and even these devices are the violation of the Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act 2019. Now कुछ alarming figures की अगर बात करें, according to the data that was there, specifically for the age group between 13 to 50, it found that the use of e-cigarettes has a higher rate among the adult in all WHO region. तो जहाँ भी WHO ने अपने स्टडीज की उनमें पाया कि ये जो एज ग्रुप है, दिस पर्टिकुलर एज ग्रुप वे आर हैविंग मोर प्रिवलेंट ऑफ यूजिंग द ई-सिगरेट. In Canada, e-cigarettes are among the from the age group between 16 to 19 that has doubled. अगर बात करें कनाडा की तो 2017 से 2022 के बीच में ये जो अमाउंट जो उनकी नंबर्स है वो डबल हुई है. The UK youngster has tripled. UK में ये डेटा अगेन ट्रिपल हुई है, 3x, and signaling the rise in the youth, जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा e-cigarettes की प्रचलन देखी गई है यूथ में. So individual with the age group between 13 to 19 you can count, they are more susceptible to the part of using e-cigarettes during their career, during their lifetime. Now कुछ recommendations WHO ने दी है. There is urgent need to control the part of e-cigarettes to protect the children as well as जो non smokers हैं, जो actually smoke नहीं करते हैं, minimize the health impact to the populations, right? And WHO has also said that the part of e-cigarettes as a consumer product are not to be affected for quitting tobaccos and use at the part of the populations level. So ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने e-cigarettes लिया, you will be completely banning out the use of the normal cigarette that is used. But again इसके बहुत repercussions एक mass populations में भी देखने को मिले, because people are actually being used to the part of e-cigarette and later on they can shift into the normal cigarettes. Instead, alarming evidence has also emerged in the adverse population for the harmful effect. WHO urged the immediate actions to prevent the e-cigarette uses, combat the nicotine addictions, emphasizing the importance of comprehensive approach, जहाँ पे tailored country context में बहुत सारी चीजें, बहुत rules बनाई गई हैं, but to a larger extent what WHO recommend that there should be a big no to the part of e-cigarettes. Now moving ahead with other news, that is central agencies to follow CBI manual on the seizures of electronic device during any investigation that is taking place by the law enforcement agencies, सेंट्रल एजेंसी. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कैटेगोरिकली कहा है कि अगर किसी भी तरह की इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइस अगर वहाँ पे रिकवर होती है तो उसमें जो सर्च है, सर्च और सीजर्स के जो प्रोसीजर्स है वो सीबीआई के जो मैनुअल है, आई मीन लुकिंग एट द सीबीआई मैनुअल, दैट विल बी फॉलोड. दिस इज व्हाट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज सेड and they have also asked center to come up with the rules. I'll tell you the detail in a while. So Supreme Court ने अपने ऑर्डर में कहा है that the part has the all the central agency, जितने भी central agencies हैं इंडिया में, उनको सीबीआई के जो रूल्स हैं in terms of seizures and conduct will be taken into consideration, चाहे वो पर्सनल डेटा हो, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस हो, ये सारी चीज़ों के लिए whether this from the academy or media person, everything will be same, the rules will be applicable. The court said that the procedures under the manual should be still till the government actually come up with the rules. 6 weeks की time दी गई है government को that they should come up with a part of details, rules or any bill that actually give them a directives that how the central agency will be forming. तो central government को within 6 weeks कुछ ना कुछ rules लाने होंगे. The bench was actually hearing a plea. जो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशंस है वो फाइल की गई थी बाय द फाउंडेशंस ऑफ मीडिया प्रोफेशनल सीकिंग अ गाइडलाइन ऑन अ पुलिस सीजर्स फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइस ऑफ द जर्नलिस्ट. स्पेसिफिकली ये जर्नलिस्ट की ग्रुप है, फाउंडेशन है, जिन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट को रीच आउट किया था कि किस तरह के डायरेक्टिव्स होने चाहिए सेंट्रल एजेंसीज को अगर कोई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटाज या गैजेट्स रिकवर हो. Now moving ahead with other news, that is new industrial policy on a back burner. एक लॉन्ग एंटिसिपेशंस थी कि जो इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी है, इफ यू लुक एट द इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी विच हैज़ बीन देयर इन इंडिया, सो इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी ने बहुत हद तक चेंजेस किए हैं इंडिया में, बट अभी रिसेंट में गवर्नमेंट ने पीएलआई स्कीम लाया था, दैट इज प्रोडक्शन लिंक इंसेंटिव स्कीम. ये इज दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम इज टेकिंग अ मोर फोर फ्रंटर रोल और इस वजह से जो न्यू इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसीज हैं इसको अभी के लिए फिलहाल साइडलाइन किया गया. Now, the government is currently prioritizing the flagship scheme, that is production link incentive scheme. कई ऐसे सेक्टर्स हैं, पहले 14 सेक्टर्स थे, इसको बढ़ा करके 20 सेक्टर्स किए गए हैं जहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और जो प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट है ट्रिपल पी मॉडल पे गवर्नमेंट इज एक्चुअली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू वर्क, राइट. The union government has actually announced with the total outlay of PLI scheme with 1.90 lakh crore rupees, and initially it was for 14 sector, but it has been augmented, right. When I'm recording, the currently the number is close to 20. Now, according to CRISIL, the PLI scheme accounts for 13 to 15% of an average investment spending the key industrial in next 3 to 4 years. तो अगर देखें आने वाले 3 से 4 सालों में PLI schemes के जो दायरे हैं, जो खास करके इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं, वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ेंगी, एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम इज ऑल्सो गेटिंग द गवर्नमेंट बजट एलोकेशन ऑन अ हायर साइड. नाउ ड्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसीज की अगर बात करें 2022 की, तो कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री ने इसे रिलीज किया था, एंड इट सेज दैट इट इज एक्चुअली वर्किंग टूवर्ड्स मेक इन इंडिया वेयर अमंग ऑल द मिनिस्ट्रीज विल बी कोऑर्डिनेटिंग. और इस ड्राफ्ट रेगुलेशंस में कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ों को, कंपनीज को, एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजीज को अडॉप्ट करने की बातें की गई थी. इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी were released this year, but again with the part of the PLI scheme, this has taken a backseat. इससे पहले 1991 में गवर्नमेंट ने इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी लाया था जहाँ पे लिबरलाइजेशंस के थ्रू बहुत ज़्यादा इंडिया की डेवलपमेंट हुई. So we cannot rule out with the fact that industrial policy has actually made a substantial progress in the Indian economy, but at this present context, PLI is going to be a game changer. Now, एक्सपर्ट की क्या व्यू है इसको लेकर के? एक्सपर्ट की डिफरेंशिएट ओपिनियन है. दे हैव सेड दैट PLI is actually they have addressed some problem, but it is a disadvantage to manufacturing. This is what it says, because it is not sufficient to attract companies seeking the alternative to China. Because what we are doing through the PLI scheme, जो इंडिया है उसको हब बनाने की कोशिश की जा रही है फॉर डिफरेंट सेक्टर, बीट्स इट्स इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, इट्स सेमी कंडक्टर, राइट, चाहे वो सेमी कंडक्टर की बात हो या फिर और कुछ चीज़ें हों जहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट जो चाइना में है वो इंडिया में आए, बट ऐसा बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेस नहीं देखा गया. एंड द पार्ट ऑफ द जियो पॉलिटिकल रियलिटीज इज ऑल्सो देयर. इफ यू लुक एट द पार्ट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट, even for the triple P model, the progress was not as such as desired. This is what the expert have their differentiate opinion. And if you look at the national manufacturing policy, NMP की बात करें, earlier it was aimed that 25% शेयर होगी और 100 मिलियन जॉब्स होंगे, बट ये टारगेट एक्चुअल में मीट नहीं हुई है. और इस टारगेट 17% जो 25% है इसके सिर्फ 17% टारगेट में ही achievement देखी गई. The rest women were looking were on the lag of shortfall of 8%. So these are the expert view and the opinion in terms of PLI, but to a larger extent, PLI is doing a great job. Now, India's fastest solar electric boat was launched in Kerala. Kerala में नई boat launch की गई है, that is known as Barracuda. Barracuda is a name of a fish. It has been named with the fish. The first solar electric boat in the country in the Alapazua is collaboration with the Maxog Dock Shipbuilder Limited and Naval, right? So, अगर बात करें boat की, Barracuda was actually designed by the Naval, which has even the boat ferry for 12 passengers and a cargo. 14-meter long है ये. The length and breadth is not that important, but for your general information, you should know. So these are the detail. It can travel up to speed of 12.5 knot. और इसमें twin 50 kV की एक्चुअल में मोटर लगाई गई है एज इट इज ई बोट, राइट. तो यहाँ पे सारी चीज़ें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स है, LF बैटरीज हैं, 6K की सोलर पावर है, दैट विल बी एक्चुअली रिलीज देयर. The engineers to navigate through the waves will have 4 meters and operational with noise outside vibrations and pollution. किसी तरह की ना तो noise होगी, ना ही vibrations होगी, ना किसी तरह की air pollution होगी. So definitely this is going to be the game changer for a coastal area, specifically जितने भी coastal area हैं इंडिया में, चाहे वो गुजरात हो, even if you look at the part Tamil Nadu, Kerala, all other states like part will be taking into action, चाहे वो Odisha हो, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, the part of Telangana region specifically, which has been bifurcated right of now. तो इस तरह के coastal areas में ये boat काफ़ी ज़्यादा helpful होंगे. Now moving ahead with the editorial for the day that talks about COP28, many a slippery slope ahead. We have been discussing a detail about COP28 which was recently concluded. COP28 UAE में हुई थी, right, दुबई में, और इसे रिसेंटली कंक्लूड किया गया है. तो इसके काफ़ी क्रिटिसिज्म, पॉजिटिव साइड, डाउन साइड्स क्या है उसके बारे में डिस्कशन है. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अ गुड लेंथ एंड गुड नंबर अबाउट द COP28. इफ यू हैव मिस्ड एनी ऑफ द सेशन, डू चेक इट आउट बिकॉज COP28 इज important for the examination. So in this particular editorial, what I'll be discussing, first we'll be looking at the global stock take, even focus on fossil fuel, a draft with loose definitions, vagueness in the financial support and conclusions. Now बात करें COP28 की, which was there in Dubai, UAE. This is venue, this is a place and it marks a crucial milestone जहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीज़ें first हुई हैं और ये mark करती है 5 year of the Paris Climate Agreement, right? और बहुत सारी ऐसी इंपॉर्टेंट, खास करके अगर बात करें चीज़ें जो फर्स्ट टाइम हुई थी, वॉज मिटिगेशंस, एडाप्टेशंस and even the financing to the loss and damage fund support to the developing countries. So these were some of the broad areas upon which COP28 has actually worked upon. Now पूरी जो रिपोर्ट रिलीज की गई है, अगर बात करें एक्सपेक्टेशंस की, एक्सपेक्टेशंस में जो emissions reductions हैं उसकी बात की गई है by 2025, और जो fossil fuels हैं उसमें भी reductions की बात की है. I'll tell you specifically about the fossil fuel in a while. तो ग्लोबल स्टॉक टेक की अगर बात करें, सो इट्स अ फंडामेंटल कंपोनेंट व्हिच वाज एक्चुअली कंसेप्चुअलाइज्ड ड्यूरिंग द पेरिस क्लाइमेट एग्रीमेंट, एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम एम्स टू मॉनिटर and evaluate the collective progress that has been made to achieve a goal. तो पूरे मेंबर कंट्रीज ने किस तरह से गोल अचीव किए हैं उसकी एक रिव्यू की जाती है. द ग्लोबल स्टॉक टेक रिपोर्ट reiterates the finding of major scientific evidence जहाँ पे 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस above the pre-industrial level should be actually rapidly closing. Now, it is proposed that the draft suggests threefold increase in the renewable energy capacity to 11,000 gigawatt by 2030 compared to 2022 level. So let's see whether all member countries will have their positive participations to achieve this target or not. This will be a time when we'll see in the coming COPs. Now, fossil fuels को rule out करने की बात की गई है पूरी तरह से. The draft agreement has said, the draft agreement which was released by COP28, it says that the countries should actually moving from the transitions to the fossil fuel or avert the worst impact of the climate change. तो जो fossil fuels हैं उससे हमें बढ़ना है और clean energy की तरफ आगे जाना है, ऐसा इस particular COP28 में adopt किया गया. The part where it says that the global warming has never been acknowledged any other in the COP. तो और किसी COP में इस तरह की बातें पहले खास करके fossil fuel को लेकर के नहीं हुई. This was the one session where a specific emphasis was there on the fossil fuels. Now it has actually scheduled the phase out and the phasing out of the fossil fuel, चाहे वो स्पेशली कोल्स को लेकर के हो, एंड एक्सपेक्टिंग टू हैव अ recurring topic on the Dubai meeting. So एक बार नहीं कई बार there have been a reiteration that the cutting down and phasing out of the fossil fuel is an alternative. इंडिया ने कोल के यूजेस को लेकर के स्पेसिफिकली अभी बहुत सारी कमिटमेंट नहीं की है, बिकॉज इंडिया आई मीन द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पार्ट हैज इट्स ओन ऑब्लिगेशंस. Now, the draft with loose definition, this is what the criticism is. It says that the loophole potential is there in terms of fossil fuel. अगर किसी तरह के countries हैं, उनके जो technological advancement, जो developed nation है, वो किस तरह से rule out करेंगे इस चीज़ को, ये भी देखना काफ़ी अहम होगा. And even to phase out the unbattered coal power, the doors is also open. अगर low carbon fuels की बात करें, low emissions की बात करें, even for the low carbon hydrogen transition fuel, the definition are not yet clear. Europe or the United States as a countries हैं, they are using this term loosely to even deviate the concern, but the actual part will not be addressed. The final drafts lack clarity on the carbon capture technology, the commercial viability and the जो carbon emission reductions हैं, जो emission reduction impacts हैं, वो किस तरह से कम होंगे, इसके बारे में कोई specific definition नहीं define की गई है. Even the loss and damage fund which was there, उसके बारे में भी specifically फंडिंग के पैटर्न को लेकर के किसी भी तरह की कोई एक्चुअल डायरेक्शंस नहीं दी गई है. नाउ वेगनेस इन द फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट, दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट. तो यहाँ पे कोप 28 में स्पेसिफिकली अगर लॉस एंड डैमेज फंड की बात करें, पहले इनिशियल कमिटमेंट की गई थी $100 बिलियन बाय 2020, बट ये अभी भी मीट नहीं हो पाई है. नो फ्रेश टारगेट हैज बीन देयर इन दिस ड्राफ्ट. आई मीन ड्यूरिंग द कोप 28 नो फ्रेश टारगेट वाज मेड, and the new loss and damage fund which was set up for the first day pertained to Mirage 470 millions only, which is something pretty low compared to the part which was actually anticipated. Now, to conclude the fact, I mean, the COP28 declaration has essentially left many problems unsolved, and the resolution has not yet been made. It has maintained the status quo. तो स्टेटस को मेंटेन है, जिस तरह से रेजोल्यूशन की एक्सपेक्टेशंस थी वो नहीं हुई, बट अगेन वी हैव टू ऑलवेज सी द पॉजिटिव साइड. बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रोग्रेस हुए हैं जो कि नोटवर्दी हैं. आई हैव डिस्कस दिस द डिटेल इन द यस्टरडे वीडियो, डू चेक इट आउट. अगर आपने कल के वीडियोस नहीं देखे, वहाँ मैंने डिटेल में बताया है कि क्या क्या प्रोग्रेस कोप 28 में हुई. Now, other than this, the transition away is something which was again a way forward, where most of the country has said to collaborate. And the global goal adaptations is something that was also left incomplete, but adaptations की बातें की गई हैं. The numbers of document were not finalized or even not approved. So some document pertaining to that, the expectation which was there has not yet been paid. But I personally feel बहुत सारी substantial progress COP28 में address हुई है, and loss and damage fund transitions from the fossil fuel and phasing out with the part of carbon, these are some of the progress that substantially will give a sustainable environment in a longer run. Moving ahead with the answers discussions, कल के जो सवाल हैं, जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है पहले सवाल का, वो है ए. इसमें ऑप्शन ए करेक्ट है, बाकी सारे ऑप्शंस इनकरेक्ट है. सो चेक इट आउट व्हाट यू हैव मार्क्ड एज अ करेक्ट ऑप्शन. द सेकंड क्वेश्चन, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज सी. यहाँ पे दोनों स्टेटमेंट, द स्टेटमेंट 1 एंड द स्टेटमेंट 2 इज करेक्ट, राइट. तो दोनों स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट हैं, आप चेक करें आपने क्या करेक्ट मार्क किया. एंड मूविंग अहेड विद द टुडेज MCQ क्वेश्चंस फॉर द डे. The first question is about the EFTA, that is European Free Trade Association. You have to consider all the three statements. The first statement goes like, it is an intergovernmental organization whose members favor free trade and economic cooperations. It is a custom union which meant for member other than not free to determine their own tariffs. The third statement is all members of the European Union are FTA members. So you have to choose one of the correct option among the four. To participate, simply write question number 1 followed by your correct option, that is A, B, C or D, and you can write that in the comment section down below for your participations. The second question of the day is about the 5G radio network service technology. You have to check for the correct option. First is it's connected to the individual device other than network portions via radio linking using 5G radio frequency. Indian Space Research Organization has collaborated with defense research and development organizations to create it. Now the same thing you have to do, just write question number 2 followed by your correct option A, B, C or D and write that in the comment section down below. Your participation is very important for us. Those of you who will be writing the correct option, I'll be highlighting their name, user's name, and the answers in the discussion video, and the part of the screenshot will be shared. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, queries about test studies, admissions, programs, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying connected.